Scoring in the first half, the Burrell Bucks picked up a touchdown. Bill Robinson plunging over from less than 2 yards out. The extra point added by Collier to make it a 7-0 game. Burrell took the opening kickoff, picked up 4 first downs in an 82-yard drive. Freeport answered with a touchdown by Stuyvesant from 24 yards out. The kick was wide. Burrell was intercepted. Kern scored from about 7 yards out and also took a pass in the end zone for a 2-point play to make it a 14-7 game. Burrell fumbled a punt early in the second quarter, but they were able to hold on and make Freeport punt from midfield. Burrell punted. Freeport then, from that point, from their own 23, got up to the 50-yard line, and at that point they executed a 50-yard pass option, and DeGitis hauled it in to make it a 20-7 game. The kick was good, 21-7, and that's where we stand at the end of 2 periods and about ready to start now third quarter play-by-play. So there's Brian Collier ready to tee her up. Freeport has Stuyvesant, Kern, and DeGitis, the back 3. And it's to Kern at the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and near the 32, the tackle made by Cliff McKay, and they'll mark it at the 32. So the Yellow Jackets with Chris Hoffman at quarterback ready to go. Aaron Dover-Splike is flanked wide here to the right side, the near side line. Running out of the eye, goes to the tailback Kern. Kern slips by one tackler. Is loose at the 40.
Hello.
At the 50, down to the 40, down to the 30. The chase is on by Robinson, and he won't catch him. Penalty flags in the Freeport backfield will bring this one back and nullify a 68-yard run. So a penalty. Will bring this 68-yard run back. And the penalty will bring it back, I think, to the 22. Well, that wasn't exactly a 10-yard penalty. You can look at the sticks, Joe, and see that one is 10 yards, the other might be about 8.5.
Well, they marched it off from the spot.
Oh, from the spot. Yeah. All right, beg your pardon. I thought that was from the line of scrimmage. So Freeport from their own 24. It is first. And Kern carries up to about the 29-yard line. So he picks up 5, tackled on the play by Chad Cribbs. Also Brian Ross on the play. Second down and roughly 13 to go. 12 or 13 yards to go. 21-7, Freeport in the lead. Edwards goes in motion. The pitch goes to Kern. Kern around the left side. Gets by Sam A. And Maggots is there. Kirkwood and a host of other blue shirts led by Eric Dunmeyer. Forward progress is marked to the 33. A gain of 4 on the play. And it will be 3rd and 9 for the Jackets. Third and a long 8. Kern carries. What a block by
This is the same play that
Burrell
went for the touchdown before.
Here goes Kern. And they're going to catch up with him.
Sam A. got him, Bob.
They're going to catch up with him at about the 11. Well, let's see. 56 yards on the run. At the Burrell 11, a 1st and 10. Brian Kern is coming off the field. And Freeport has a 1st and 10. In the backfield is DeGitis taking his place. And it goes to Stuyvesant, and Stuyvesant is hit inside the 10. Lloyd Clausen and Chad Cribbs at the 8. Kern leaves the game with 139 yards. Of course, he'll be coming back in. Add to that total.
Bet on it.
Here's Hoffman to DeGitis. Loose football, and the Bucks have it. The Burrell Bucks recover at the 5. Recovered by Brian Horwath at the Burrell 5-yard line. So the Jackets fumble inside the Burrell 10, recovered at the 5-yard line by Burrell. This is the first time they'll have their hands on the ball in the second half. We have about 8.5 minutes to play in this third period. Here's the left-hander Brian Mike in the end zone, and he's in there, tackled for the safety. And the tackle, I think, was led by Ryan Lenz. And the Jackets will pick up 2 more to make it a 23-7 game. So the Bucks will have the free kick from their 20. Joe Sutera is officially credited with the 2-point safety. So it's now 23-7. It was a 1st and 10 from the Burrell 5 for the Bucks, and quarterback Brian Mike tackled in the end zone by Sutera, and that adds 2 points to the Freeport total, plus they will have possession. As Brian Collier approaches the football, and the kick is picked up just inside the 50. And the loose football, and who's got it? Burrell has recovered at the 44. Burrell has recovered, and it's number 77. Number 25 was Mike Tellerico, and Mike Byers was in there also, but I think it was Tellerico who will get credit for the recovery. So the Bucks have it at the 44.
So they traded field position for 2 points, Bob. That's about what it comes down to.
Brian Mike, this is a busted play. And he will eat a little bit of dirt. Merle Atkinson was there for the hit, and he'll lose a yard. (23-7). Freeport leading with a little better than 7 minutes to play in this third period. 2nd and 11. Robinson. Loose football. And Freeport has recovered this time. And it is recovered by Ryan Lenz, number 73. So, Freeport takes over at the 7-minute mark at the 37-yard line.
I don't know. You sure there's not something
Contagious
on that ball that says hot? My goodness. That's 3 fumbles in a space of about a minute and a half of playing time.
So now Freeport in possession at the Burrell 37. Hoffman has a man out there. It's incomplete. One of the few times that Freeport has thrown in the ball game, intended for Randy Stuyvesant coming out of the backfield.
And he was all alone out there, Bob.
So 2nd down and 10. Clock stops on the play at 6:38. Second down and 10 for the Jackets. Here's Hoffman. He's looking to throw. Dover Spike is out there. Hoffman's got running room, and he'll be hit on the loose football, but he may have recovered, or it happened after the whistle. He will pick up about 7 yards to the 30. And Freeport has a 3rd and 3. 23-7 in the 3rd period, halfway through this quarter. Full house eye this time. Hoffman goes straight ahead. Somebody put a big hit on him. My money might be on Chad Cribbs on that hit. I don't know. What was that number again? John Megas.
Meantime, number 77, Bob, had his man and drove him back at least 10 yards.
Fourth down and a little better than a yard. Unless well, they have the first down.
I was going to say, why are they measuring?
So he picked up 3 on the play, just had enough.
Even a bad angle that we had, Bob, it looked as though he had the first down.
Five and a half minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. Hoffman on the keepers, got Dover Spike out there, won't throw, will pass. Nice tackle made by Rotto on Hoffman. And Hoffman advances it inside the 25 to about the 23. Gain of 5 on the play.
Pretty good speed by Rotto, Bob. He caught up with him and dropped him at the, 23-yard line?
So it's 2nd down. And roughly, well, I tell you, look at the sticks over there, Joe. Looks like about 7. 23-7, Freeport in the lead. 4.5 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. Hoffman hands off to Kern. Rotto makes the tackle at about the 22.
That youngster's playing a heck of a game, Bob.
21 on 21 that time. Rotto on Kern at the 22-yard line, making it 3rd and about 5.
Rotto's a 5'8", maybe 5'9", 165-pound junior.
Third down and a long 5 for the Jackets. Kern with the ball off tackle, and Kern plunges ahead, is going to go in for the touchdown.
Look at this.
22 yards.
A big league run. Make no mistake about it. Big league.
And Kern makes it a 29-7 game. Holding on the extra point for Freeport will be Mike Conti. I believe Huth is still the kicker.
Yep. Number 33,
Ben Huth is still kicking. Maybe too much time. Offside against Burrell. That'll bring it up a little bit closer to the goal line. And the situation is the same. Mike Conti is holding for Huth. And the kick is no good, off to the left. Score will remain 29-7, 3:36 to play in the third quarter. We'll be back. High school football continues right after this. Back for the Freeport kickoff. They're leading in the game 29-7. As Hoffman prepares to kick it downfield, back to receive Howarth and Maggots. Straight down. Rado is up shallow. The kick bounces toward Rado. He'll pick it up at the 29. Rado looking for some room, and Rado down to about the 35-yard line. Rado on the return at the Burrell 35. Stopped on the play by Joel Malak, number 68. A 22-point differential between these two teams as we close in on the 3-minute mark of the third quarter. Burrell scored first, and Freeport's racked up 29 straight points, but it was a good opening drive by the Bucks. There's Brian Mike over center. Hands off to Robinson, and Robinson a short gain, maybe a yard, going off the right side. Off the bottom of the pile, Visley and Joe Sutera. About a yard that time. Howarth is out wide to the right. Sammy here to the near sideline. And Mike will throw, and almost picked off by Darren Schwartz. In fact, Visley had his hands up and almost deflected it at the line of scrimmage. Somehow it found its way through his hands, but deflected in the secondary by Darren Schwartz. And the incompleted pass now brings up 3rd and 9. Third down and 9. Brian Mike rolling, looking, firing, and
he had a man
his
out there, but he
receiver
fell
had
down.
fallen down. That was Ross. So 2 successive incompleted passes brings up 4th and 9 for the Bucks, and they'll have to punt. DeGitis is back along with Kern down around their 30-yard line. Sammy kick is angled to the near sideline and will go out of bounds at about the 42. A break in the action with 2:14 to play. We'll be right back. Comcast to play. Third period, Freeport at their 41 with a 1st and 10. It was not a long kick. In fact, from the line of scrimmage, probably about 23 yards. Loose ball, but it was after the whistle. Chad Cribbs is there. He wants possession. But Kern will get credit with a 2-yard pickup.
Cribbs is getting up, Bob. You know, he's got his arms stretched out, probably asking the referee, why isn't it a fumble? Pleading it about this point in the game, and you can't blame them. They want the ball back.
Here's Hoffman over center, out of the full house eye. Loose football this
There is
time.
a fumble for sure.
Freeport looks like they hold on.
Yep.
At the 44.
Stuyvesant.
So 3rd and about 7 after the 1-yard pickup. It's marked pretty close to the 45. Well, we're under a minute of this 4th quarter. Fast moving ball game. Third and long. There haven't been too many 3rd down conversions for Freeport, but what they've had, they've made pretty good time with. Here's Kern. Kern at midfield and springs ahead. Penalty flags. Kern is finally going to be brought down by McKay at the Burrell 33-yard line. He ran 23 yards on the play, but a clip against Freeport.
Boy, he's a good runner, isn't he, Bob?
Sure is. He can pick his spots.
Even when he gets hit, you figure you have him, and next thing you look up, and there he goes down the sideline. He is an exceptional runner.
The penalty brings it back to the 34-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 17. And we're under.
That's really nothing new in Freeport, Bob. If it's not Kern, it's Christie, and if it's not Christie, it's White. If it's not White, it's somebody else. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, year after year, decade after decade.
Without a merger.
And no merger.
5 seconds remaining. This will be the last play. It's a draw to Kern. Rotto hits him once. There's McKay, and also joining in on the tackle was Eric Dunmeyer. But the 3rd quarter has come to an end. It's 29-7. The Freeport Yellow Jackets are in the lead. And we'll be back to the 4th and final quarter coming up after this. Final quarter. Hoffman is ready to go now on 4th and 11, and here's Joe.
All right, Bob. 4th quarter, 29-7. Freeport out front. Here's Huffman's kick. Good kick. It's going to be taken by Howard. Out across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. On the stop is big number 88 is Sean Ippolito. Little guy, about 161, 190. 42-yard line is where the Burrell Bucks will put it in play, and I'm sure they'd like some respectability here. Game may be out of reach as far as trying to win it. Not that they won't try. The next best thing is to get some more points on the board. 29-7. 11:35 left in the 4th quarter. Cribbs in motion now. Here is a pitch back. Brian Mike, loose football. Freeport has it. That play really never had a chance. It just looked as though it wasn't going to work from the very beginning. A pretty good rush put on by Freeport. And Brian Mike lateraled the ball, and Burrell just couldn't hold on to it. Fumbled at the 38. Freeport fell on it. They have it now with 11:15 remaining in the game.
Are there fresh jerseys out there, or am I mistaken?
There's a few. In fact, we have a new quarterback, number 14, Mike Conte. And let's see, here's a handoff, and going off the right side for a couple of yards. Schwartz, and he picks up about 3. Ball is near in fact, it's right on the 35-yard line.
(29-7) to Freeport in the final period. 10.5 minutes to play.
All right, Conti. And that one went absolutely nowhere. Eric Brown took the handoff from Conti, and he was hit immediately. Cribbs made the stop after a gain of maybe a yard. 3rd down, 9. I guess maybe the game of the year, Bob, in this AA Allegheny Conference could very well be the last one, which we'll have Jeanette going up to Freeport. Here's Conti handing off and going through, getting decent yardage is DeGitis. He's going to pick up maybe 4 or 5 yards. They'll come up short of the 1st down near the 32-yard line. They got to get to about the 29. Rado was there, so it's going to be 4th down and 3. And the way things are as far as the score and field position, Freeport will probably go for it here, and they will. Conti to DeGitis off the right side, and he is going to be close to the 1st down. Depending on the spot, now we see where the official is going to spot the ball. It's not going to be a 1st down. Just outside, just inside the 30, and that's not going to be enough. So Burrell will get it with under 9 minutes remaining in the ball game. So Burrell will put it in play just inside their own 30-yard line. 8:43 remaining in the 4th quarter. So it looks as though Freeport is going to maintain that unblemished record. Brian Mike sends Cribbs in motion, and they pop it right up the middle. It's not going to get much, just barely across the 30 is Kirkwood. He picks up maybe a yard on the carry. 2nd and 9. Bob, seriously, you and I have talked about it. We have seen more equipment adjustments this year, whether it be the shoulder pads, the headgear, the chin strap, or something. It's not that they were unconcerned in the past, but for some reason, there's more of it happening this year than ever before.
And I can't offer you a reason. I don't know why.
I don't know. I mean, they've always been, right on top of things. You know, the physical condition and making sure that everything is just right for the kids has always been uppermost in everybody's mind. But for some reason this year, it seems that every game you've got 2 or 3 of those timeouts. Something needs repaired. Thank heaven they can repair them. All right, here we go. And Ross goes off the left side and maybe fights for a yard. He's stopped over there by number 60, and that's Joe Schutera, and he has been very, very active here this afternoon. We're closing in on 7.5 minutes remaining in the game. Back and set to go once again. Burrell in possession of the football. They have it just outside their own 30. 3rd and 7. Here's a fake. Oh, he's got Sammy out there all alone. Sammy has it inside the 40-yard line to about the 37. And had that pass been a little longer, Bob, it could have gone all the way. Sammy had to just slow down to get a hold of that football. By the time he got it, the defender was there to make the stop, and Sammy looks as though he may have, injured an ankle or a knee, maybe a cramp.
I've got 21 yards on the pass play, Joe, I believe.
Okay,
no, 18.
It's
18 and 13. I'm sorry,
31.
31 yards.
So it's a first down for the Burrell Bucks. The football is resting at the 37. And while there's a timeout because of the injury, the Burrell players, some of them anyway, are coming over to have a chat with the coaching staff. And while all that's going on, let's take a timeout and return with more Freeport Burrell football right after this.
Comcast.
Not too much to cheer about today.
If you're a Burrell fan. If you're a Burrell fan, that is, Bob. Freeport has a lot to cheer about. In fact,
who's the monkey?
I don't know, but George Guido passed on some interesting information. This will be Freeport's 397th win in their existence, and if everything goes well and they even beat Jeanette in the final game of the year, they will have racked up 400 by the time this year is over. Robinson stopped near the 35. Atkinson. Oh, and he's been in the middle of a lot of activity out there this afternoon. 6.5 minutes remaining. You know, it's funny when you talk about playoff football, someone says that whatever conference Freeport is in at playoff time, they say, who else is in the playoff besides Freeport? They almost take it for granted. Here's Brian Mike, pitches back, a bad pitch, but picked up by number 31, Brian Horwath, and he was able to scoop it up. Otherwise, that might have been another fumble. The ball is going to be ruled dead at the 35, and that'll be a fourth down. Or is it a third down? Third down. Let's call it third down, 5:45 remaining in the ball game.
MVP announced at the conclusion of the game for First Federal of Pittsburgh.
I don't know about you, but boy, it's going to be easy for me. I can't. Oh, there's a long pass and almost caught down there, but there's a flag intended for Chad Cribbs. He might have been pushed a little bit going up to try to get that one. So that'll be a interference penalty, and a couple of Freeport rooters down below hollering they jumped at the same time.
And another flag. Another flag.
Well,
so 15 for the interference and another 15 perhaps for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Somebody down below just said, you ought to give Burrell what they deserve. Nothing. Well, I'll tell you, everybody's rooting for their own home team. And there's some people from Freeport down in front of us that, hey, they just want it all. And in a way, you can't blame them. All right, the penalties against Freeport. And the football is going to be spotted at about the 11-yard line, just outside the 10. .5:16 remaining in the game. Freeport 29, Burrell 7. Burrell has a first down just outside the 10-yard line. They can make a first down without going into the end zone. All right, here we go. I formation. Brian Mike, the quarterback, gives off to Robinson, and Robinson is going to be hit. He did manage, I think, to get inside the 10, but now they'll just say that he got to the 10-yard line, and let's give him a gain of 1. Second down and 9. The ball at the 10-yard line. Number 60, Joe Schutera, shaken up on the play.
Could be a cramp.
That's what it is, the way they're stretching the leg.
Something announcers never get, right, Joe?
Speak for yourself. You don't usually, if you're an announcer under 39, you usually don't get them, Bob. After 39,
On a regular basis?
It seems like you're cramped up all the time. But in any event, it's Burrell here having their hands full this afternoon with this fine Freeport team, which is really nothing new. It's almost like a broken record when you're talking about Freeport. We talked before about the Christies and the Huths and the Kerns and the Whites, and if you want to go back a few more years, you're talking about the Blubber Morgans, you're talking about Bud Carson, the current coach of the Cleveland Browns. So that list just goes on and on and on, and all of the Contis up there in Freeport. My goodness,
afraid of leaving somebody out.
You're almost afraid to mention any name because
Dan Larry, who went on to Penn State.
You're almost guaranteed to leave somebody out.
Well, they're still working on the youngster. A reminder, next Friday night, if all goes well, our plans are to be up at Plum for the Kiski area Plum game, and Saturday afternoon, Valley at Knock.
And, well, I'll tell you what, that should be a pretty decent weekend, and get a pretty good line on the upcoming playoffs on all of the conferences after next week's action. I think we have a pretty good line on just what to expect.
Now, Valley's going to have a short practice week by one day, because they opted to play their game Monday night at 7:30, which was rained out from Friday. And that's with Hampton. And Hampton, as you know, defeated Fox Chapel. Fox Chapel had given Valley a scare earlier in the year. So I guess Joe Nonchek, the coach at Valley, as well as the athletic director, didn't want to take any chances with that rain-soaked field. And they both decided, that is he and the opposing coach, to go on a Monday night.
And they'll do it. And, of course, that might be beneficial to Knock because, as you indicated, a short week for the Valley Vikings. All right, here we go. 2nd and 9. Robinson, and inside the 5, down to about the 3. Billy Robinson's going to need about another 2 yards for the first down. 3rd down and 2. The ball spotted at the 3. They need to get to the 1 yard line for the first down.
Somebody else hurt? Horwat's coming out of the game.
Why is the clock stopped? I don't understand.
The gentleman's right here. You want to talk to him?
No, I just wondered, was there a timeout? Robinson is going to be close to the first down. He's not into the end zone, but he's going to be awfully close. Now they say his knee hit the ground back a little bit, so he's not going to have the first down. He's going to be 4th and a long one. They gave him hardly any gain at all there, and I thought sure his forward progress was up near the 1 yard line, but not so. 3:50 and counting. 4th down and 1. Robinson, he's going to fight his way near the end zone. I believe he has the first down. Well, let's wait till they unpile.
Freeport fans cheering for their defense, but I think
they don't realize that they have the first down. So it's going to be 1st and goal inside the 1 yard line. No indication yet. Well, I guess they did indicate to bring in the sticks. They want to measure. Why, I don't know. So it's 1st and goal. The ball is maybe the length of a football away from the end zone. The clock is moving. 3 minutes, 35 seconds remaining. 29-7. Freeport in the lead. Burrell. Here's Robinson. Touchdown, I believe. There's the indication. Yes. So Billy Robinson gets into the end zone for the score, and they want to go for 2, I think. We're looking here at the sideline. And Brian Horwath coming in. I think they are going to go for two. They were waiting for the okay from head coach Gene Collodi to go for two. They indicated they wanted to. And from the looks of things, he gave them permission to go ahead and do just that. And incidentally, that is the 13th touchdown for Billy Robinson in the season. Brian Mike looking, throwing, and it's going to be no good. It was intended for Robinson, so the two-point conversion is no good. So the score stands at 29-13 Freeport with 3 minutes, 24 seconds left in the ball game.
So the Burrell Bucks will be kicking off shortly as Collier will tee up the football. 29-13, as Joe had indicated, is our score, and it might just wind up being the final here this afternoon. Burrell on that opening drive, Joe, 82 yards, led 7-0, and then Freeport came back, picking up 29 consecutive points. And Burrell now getting back on the board, 29-13, but the two-point try goes incomplete. Next Friday night, Kiski area at Plum. Next Saturday afternoon, Valley at Knock. Valley plays Monday night at 7:30 at home with Hampton.
All right, Bob, you're the coach now. 3:24 left. Do you try an onside kick?
May as well.
You got nothing to lose.
Right.
You're down by 16 points. You need the football real bad, so what's the difference if you give it to them at their 25 or 30 or at their 40? So here we go. Brian Collier. Freeport thinks they're going to kick it deep. Well, it is an onside kick, and it's going to be recovered by the Burrell Bucks at about the 48 or 49 yard line, and it went the necessary distance. Mike Tellerico, I believe, fell on the football, and it's going to be Burrell's ball at the 48 yard line of Freeport. So they tried the onside kick and were successful. So the Burrell Bucks get the ball back. So I guess Yogi knew what he was talking about, Bob, when he said it ain't over till it's over. So here we go again.
Defensively, by the way, Freeport, a couple of new shirts in there. Mike Conti as well as DeGitis for playing cornerback and safety. DeGitis has been in for a little bit anyway.
Horwath in motion. Here's Brian. Mike back, looking, throwing. He's got a man over the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Jeff Samay at about the 40-yard line. The pass was a little bit behind him, but he's upset that he didn't catch it. It was a tough grab, but I guess he just felt that maybe he should have had it. Good effort in any event. So it's 3 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. Second down and 10.
Yeah, it's a different.
The Freeport 48.
I was going to say it's a difficult thing for a kicker to judge, kicking the ball on a roll for 10 yards. Collier did a nice job for the Bucks on that onside kick. Just got it over the 50.
Okay. And Robinson is going to be dropped after a gain of maybe a yard. Let's see, 77, Visley, 32 also there, Stevenson. Third down and about 9. Clock is moving, 2:40 and counting. Mike back looking, throwing. He's got a man out here. It's complete to Samay inside the 30 and a first down. And let's see, that was number 21. That was Kern. You'd think that youngster would go out for a rest the way he's been running the football. Ready to go. First and 10 for the Burrell Bucks. We're down to about 2:05. The ball is at the 27-yard line of Freeport. Burrell trying to get on the board again. Here's Brian Mike, and whistles all over the place. Flags, whistles. Maybe that one took too much time or some movement there. Let's see. Looks as though they may march it off against Burrell. At least the officials are heading in that direction. And it's a procedure call against the Burrell Bucks. They'll bring it back to about the 32, from the 27 to the 32. And a timeout is going to be called. Okay, timeout on the field. 1:54 left.
Still has been a rather quick ball game here today, Joe. Coach Gene Colodi makes his way out onto the field, and this one will drop the Burrell Bucks, Joe, in section play. I get my sheet out here.
Well, that'll give them 2 losses, I believe. They'll be 2-2 after this one, 3-3 overall.
Freeport would go to 5-0 in the conference and 6-0 overall. And as you had indicated earlier, if they win here today and a couple of more, they would have 399 team wins before the Jeanette game.
Right. Boy, what a way to cap off the season. Beat Jeanette.
Pick up 400.
Mark up number 400.
Brian Kern sports. What kind of a haircut is that, Brian? Well, I think we're going to have to start awarding some creativity awards to barbers around the area.
Hey, no more barbers, are all stylists now, Bob. You know that. All right, here's Brian Mike. Oh, he's got a man all alone over there. Brian Horwat was alone, but he chose to go to number 83. That's Sameh, and he did catch the ball at the 26-yard line, but Brian Horwat was all alone at about the 5-yard line. Brian Mike, I'm sure, didn't see him. 1.5 minutes remaining.
Well, if he did see him, they're no longer best of friends.
It could be. The friendship ended right there. There's Horwat in motion. Brian Mike. And they're going to try the same play. This time it's not going to work. It might be intercepted, and it is. Intercepted by Ron DeGitis. And a flag on the play. Holding against Burrell. They're going to, I guess, decline the penalty, take the interception, run 3 plays, and that'll about do it here this afternoon. Freeport 29, Burrell 13.
See where they spot the ball for the sake of coming up with our...
It's at the 15-yard line, I believe. They'll spot it at the 15, Bob, and that's where the Yellow Jackets will put it in play.
This is just about where Mr. Keppel ought to be putting in some troops just for the sake of experience. Or for
well, he's had a few in there. I don't know how many, but we've seen some pretty clean jerseys in the last 2 or 3 series. So it's Conti in at quarterback, and they'll just run perhaps 3 plays. Here's the first one. It's a handoff off the right side. It's going to get a couple of yards. So a 2-yard gain. 2nd down and 8. The ball is across the 15 to about the 17-yard line. We're inside a minute, down to 49, 48, 47, and ticking away. And believe it or not, most of the people that were here 20 minutes ago or so are still here. Yeah, I bet you that a good majority of them are Freeport fans wanting to celebrate. Here's Conti, quarterback keeper right up the middle, and that could very well be the last play of the ball game. He's going to get up across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. The clock is down to 17, 16, and I don't know that they have to run another play. I think that might be it here this afternoon. We're inside 10 seconds, and it's going to be the ball game as the Freeport Yellow Jackets stay undefeated as they win it here at Burrell by the score of 29-13.
Wrap up coming up right after this. 29-13 is the final. The Freeport Yellow Jackets win it here this afternoon at the Burrell football field. Bring you up to date on scoring. The Burrell Bucks taking the opening kickoff, had an impressive 82-yard drive, capped with a Billy Robinson 2-yard run for the TD, and the extra point added made it a 7-0 ball game. But right after that, Freeport came back with a tying touchdown but missed the extra point when Stuyvesant carried it in from 24 yards out. A little bit later on, Kern scored his first touchdown of the day. It was a pass to him of 7 yards. It was first and goal from the 7. And no, he ran it in from the 7, beg your pardon. Then he caught the 2-point pass conversion to make it a 14-7 game. DeGitis scored on an option pass for the Yellow Jackets near the conclusion of the first half, and the kick after made it 21-7. In the third quarter, the Bucks were caught with a safety. They were at their own 5-yard line with first and 10 to go at the 5. Brian Mike was tackled in the end zone by Sutera, made it 23-7. Brian Kern scored the second of his 2 touchdowns on a 22-yard run a while later, making it 29-7. The extra point was no good. And in the fourth and final period, Burrell scored on a run by Robinson from a yard out. They tried the 2-point play, 29-13. It ended up as the final. Joe, no contest for MVP honors today.
None whatsoever, Bob. There was really no doubt from the third quarter on as Brian Kern led his ball club to, as we indicated, a pretty good win here at Burrell, 29-13. He himself put together some outstanding stats, 177 yards on the ground. So Brian Kern, the MVP here this afternoon, as Burrell loses to Freeport 29-13.
All right. Very briefly, as far as standings go, it makes Freeport, of course, very much in the thick of the race. They've just tallied their 5th conference victory. They're 6-0 overall, 5-0 in the conference. Depending upon what will happen in the next couple of weeks, they would be facing Jeanette with a possibility of being undefeated and gunning for their 400th school win in high school football. Burrell Bucks dropped to 2-2 in the conference. They're 3-3 overall. Rob Tattern, our technical director, on camera. Alan Palmer down along the field, and an assist from Matt Graff on the key grip, and Chris Tattern, of course, up on the upper camera. And on behalf of Joe Falsetti and the entire staff, I'm Bob Tattern, thanking you for joining our telecast here today. Once again, the final, it was Freeport 29 and Burrell 13. So long, everybody.